Sound. Okay. At Kane 1878, who do you reckon this question's for?
I think it might be. I know Kane, yeah.
Could be. Could be. What did you make of the Martinez out banner on Saturday?
Considering Kane was holding the Martinez out banner, which I know for a fact he was. No, it's what's got to start happening, isn't it? As far as I'm concerned, the man's done. He lives in a different time zone, reality, universe. He lives in one of them.
Like an Arsenal fan.
I like the fella. Yeah, but the difference is
banners.
We were promised the Champions League.
We originated the banner stuff.
we were promised the Champions League. Where is it? I think. Listen, the press are not interested. They couldn't care less. Over the weekend, we had Danny Murphy, patting us on the head, telling us we should be happy. I'd love to know if he thought that if it was happening at Liverpool. We had Gordon Strachan saying it was like 4 Everton fans when... listen, I know some people think differently or don't think social media is a real thing, but it is a real thing, by the way. And when you have polls of 3,000 people suggesting 95% of them want them gone, that says a lot. I mean, what's different? How different from that is when
if he wins the FA Cup, though.
No, I'm not interested. But
hold on. You say that now, right? But if you win the FA Cup, bit of silverware.
I'll be honestly.
And then you rebuild for next season.
What are you rebuilding though? You're rebuilding on the same principles.
No, but hold on. The season before, he had a good season, didn't he? Yeah, a lot of people raving about it. I remember a lot of Everton fans saying, "Oh, you know what? Martinez,
and I was one of them.
He's changed our philosophy. He's attacking football. It's brilliant. Under Moyes, it was boring.
But we were still solid, though. We were solid at the back.
No, but what I'm saying, he might just be having one bad season.
Well, it's not.
Two bad
seasons.
Yeah. Season before.
I think fans have got the right to say what they want. And what was good about Saturday
was... they do have the right.
The banners came out before the game, and as soon as the game started, they went away. And that was the way we did it on Saturday. So fair play to those lads. The press are not interested because we're not a big story. I've had top journalists tell me that we're not clickbait. They were his words. And this is a man who works for a top journalist who works for a top newspaper. He said Everton aren't clickbait. No one's interested in pressing that button.
Smack down in the middle, aren't they? That's the thing.
It's not even that.
I tweeted you, Ped, saying like you've literally got one of the best strikers in the Premier League for the first time in a very, very long time, and you're wasting that. Yeah. If you're not careful, he's going to go to a top 4 club.
I don't have to be careful. He's going.
Yeah,
but that's the only time. The only time journalists write about Everton is when someone's leaving, when it's something worthwhile, or when they see John Stones playing badly because they think that's affecting England or his next big move. So,
would that change under a different manager?
Yeah, I think it would. Because I think if a big manager,
if he's successful,
if a big manager came in or we were successful in any way, what's happened recently, obviously everyone knows, is we've been taken over effectively. So the pressure has ramped up. So people are thinking, there is money there now. There is a bright future if we want it. But not with this manager. It's just not happening.
I think the only thing I'd say is that look, the point Robbie's trying to make is that as much as I'm not saying it will ultimately change a 95, give a 46% swing or whatever back the other way. But the point is that I'm genuinely not having a dig. Is that a piece of silverware could change a lot of mindsets, and I'm not saying it means it's going to be fixed or it's going to be a problem. Like, look, if anyone knows about drinking the FA Cup Kool-Aid,
I'm telling you that, the season, not last season, the season before when we won the FA Cup, it was the same thing that lots and lots of people were real anti-Wenger. The minute that we won that FA Cup, they all sort of, I wouldn't say they switched.
It's a respite, isn't it?
But yeah, it was a complete respite. And I don't know, I think if he was to go on and win the FA Cup, you haven't won something for so long. You couldn't get rid of a manager after that.
My thinking on it though, again, and we've said this off air on stuff, is that I don't think Martinez was ever the right fit for Everton. I think it was nice, and we saw it at Liverpool. Had Rodgers and they had Damon. They were these young coaches playing idealistic football, but that's not the Everton I know. Or maybe that was the Everton before my era. But and to be fair though, I was raised in that all my best mates were Evertonians, and it was all the Dogs of War era, and I think that was too much the other way. But I think you need to have a bit of needle, have a bit of nastiness to you. And we've said this is like look what Slaven Bilic brings. Again, he's got the Everton connection as well. I don't think he'd leave West Ham now to go to Everton, but that was an opportunity. He feels like more of an Everton manager than Roberto Martinez.
It's just gone. You know what? Martinez went down a certain path, and he's gone down it too far, and he can't come back from it now, as far as a lot of people are concerned. And an FA Cup would be fantastic, and I'd love to win the FA Cup. But listen, you're sitting next to a man whose they won a trophy, lost an FA Cup final, and then sacked their biggest ever idol. That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
You've got to be ruthless. There's too many Evertonians.
What have they done since?
They nearly won it with
So that's
Brendan
what I'm
Rodgers.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nearly. But what I'm saying to you is, you also got to be careful. And as
Why
I
do you
said,
have to be careful? We're not doing anything.
I just think
In
that if he
40
won, if he won the FA Cup, that's a successful season for Everton.
Yeah, but
Because you haven't. When was the last time you won a trophy?
But as James is saying, is right. The talent that team's got.
Don't get me wrong. Listen, when we played you the other day, and I looked at the team sheet, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then how did we play, Robbie?
You were terrible.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. You've just answered your own question.
I look at the team sheet and I'm like, I can't see any weaknesses in this team. It's like from top to bottom. Probably the only name on it I'm like is the keeper.
Did Arsenal get out of second gear that day?
No,
Did they have to get out of second gear?
No.
There you go.
There you go.
The
There you go. Go on, but we must move on.
I was going to say, the only person I could look at is Martinez. If you look at that team sheet, it's all you can.
Yeah,
So.
it's a great team.
Yeah. That's
It's not a great team. It's a decent team.
But put it this way,
your first 11 is as good as anything outside of the the super elite that's been performed. And to be fair, Leicester have kind of blown the idea of that out the water.
Do you know what Everton don't do? Very last thing, don't work hard. They don't work hard. No, and it's not because it's not asked of them.